Hey man, how are you doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm awesome. I'm awesome. Thanks so much for meeting with me. I know that Nathan and Lily had their first swim lesson. How'd that go?
Yes, he jumped off the diving board.
Nathan did?
Yes, huge.
Okay. All right. So do we feel like we have some swimmers on our hands?
No.
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 Okay.
We were saved by a lifeguard in the Dells, so really focusing.
Okay. So it was a rescue
Minor,
operation.
very minor.
Okay. Got it.
Nothing to be worried about.
Well, I hope they stay safe, and I'm excited about that. Let's dive in, okay?
Ready.
Great. So we are going to do a few things today. We're going to dive into your glow area. There's a bunch of stuff there around what we've been working on. We're then going to dive into a grow area, and we're going to look at some data around that. We're going to dive into what the practice is going to look like, directly aligned to the rubric, and we are going to we're going to talk about next steps and then go forward from there. Okay.
Sounds good.
Before we start, do you have the scenarios I asked you to bring?
I have all three.
Okay, great, perfect. Let's dive in. So, and I have the data here on this sheet right here. Starting with the glows. Last week we were talking about 1.5, which was the attention signal, 1.6, which makes sure you have students' attention when given directions. I have some data here I want to share, and I'll show you right here. You had 6 total opportunities to bring students back in the class, where the kids were talking, you had them working on something. You utilized 5 of them. 1 at 8:11, 8:16, 8:26, 8:33, and 8:38. And the one at 8:04, which was the one that was missed, I gave you some whisper coaching on that after it happened, and you were a perfect 5 for 5 after that. You used the countdown signal that we rehearsed the last time, which was the countdown from 5 to 1, and I'm going to share some data on how that went. At 8:11, at that callback, you had 22 out of 25 students with you. James, Tanya, and Marcus were not. But this actually, you'll see what happens with that. At 8:16, 23 out of 25. Tanya has joined us now. James and Marcus are still doing their own thing, but check this out. 8:26, 8:33, 8:38. 25 out of 25 students each time, 100% with you. Voices off, eyes on you as you asked for it. Big picture, like they know that this thing is real. This is something that's happening in your class. And by the second half of the class on, you consistently had 100% of students with their attention on you after that countdown signal and right before you gave directions. What are your thoughts on that? What are you thinking when I share that data?
Yeah, I was really nervous about using the countdown. I didn't know how students were going to react, but having them at the end of class really tracking me with directions and like quiet, I just felt so much more successful.
Yeah, high five. I'm excited for you. Let's switch gears. We're going to talk about your grow right here. After, you gave directions at 8:11. Remember, you had 25 out of 25 students with 100% attention on you, and 15 out of 25 students were on task after that. At 8:26, you gave directions again. We had 15 out of 25. 8:33, we had 14 out of 25. There was a group of 3 students in the back. It was James, Tanya, and Marcus, who were talking throughout that piece. At 8:38, we had 12 out of 25. The total on task during those pieces was 66%, and the on task goes down as the lesson progresses. I want to share some direct quotes from your directions, and then we'll talk about what we're gonna action plan around this. Your directions for the first piece, you said everyone copy down your objective. Okay, please do that. James calls out, he says, where? 3 students are talking, and like I said, we have another 6 or 7 students who aren't working at that point. You give the directions 3 more times. Here are direct quotes. Guys, write your objective down. In your notebook, James. Okay, this is taking too long. I'm giving you 10 more seconds. That's it. 40 seconds later, you then said you have 3 more seconds to finish writing your objective. 20 more seconds, you move to the next slide. This whole piece took 4 minutes and 48 seconds, and I could argue that this should take about 30 seconds to copy the objective down. I'm going to give you some more data around this. You had 5 major directions in the lesson, which we named. On average, you repeated each of those directions 4 times. And the handing in of the independent practice at the very end of class took 2 minutes and 30 seconds because you had to give those directions 6 times. The big picture here is your directions aren't as clear as they can be on the front end. It's leading to kids being frustrated. It's leading to you having to reiterate the directions multiple times. And so we're going to actually dive in on this and dive in on making our directions clearer so that you can get as many kids on task as early as possible. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
You know, I definitely, looking at the data, I want to make sure what I say is what I do, and holding kids accountable is important. So I see this as an important step.
Great. So do me a favor, read 1.7. If you could just read that out loud for us, we'll then dive in.
Major directions include information on time, task, material, and sound.
Great. So we're going to dive into our practice now. I came up with a script for our first one, and then we're going to dive into some of the examples that you brought. I want to just name the components of this script right here, and then we're going to get up. I'm going to model it a couple times, and then we'll get up and we'll practice. So the first piece is I say, when I say go, right? We're going to call that, we say that's prepping the cue. Right? You're letting kids know that something's going to happen when I say that thing at the end of this. Please take 30 seconds, and so there's that time piece, to silently sound. Write today's objective, that's our task, in your notebook. And those are our materials. That's the where it's going, the physical piece of that. And then at the end, I drop the cue as well. And so these are 5 separate components. I prep the cue on the front end, I give the time, I give the task, I give the sound, and I give the materials, and then I drop the cue at the end of that.
Okay.
Give me your thoughts on this before I model, and then we're going to dive into some pretty intense practice.
Seems pretty straightforward. I think the time piece is going to be my struggle, making sure that I give enough time for the task.
Yeah. I mean, the big idea is that let's just start with name and time. Okay. And if you realize that, like, hey, it's not enough, you can extend it. If you realize that it's too much, we can pull back.
Okay.
Great. Let's stand up. I want to model it for you, then we're going to jump into a bunch of reps. I'm going to do it first, and here's actually your script right here. I don't want you to think at all about your body language, your tone, where you're looking. You can even use the script initially, but we're just going to get practiced in saying it with these 4 components. Does that make sense?
Sounds good.
Great. Let me start. When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go. Let me do it again. When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Now, I did a little bit of scanning around the room, but I don't even want you to think about that. Just like say the directions with those components, with the prepping the cue, time, task, materials, and sound, and dropping the cue, and we'll see how much automaticity we can build with that.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Okay, great. Let's try one more time. It sounds good. Let's make sure we're getting all those components in there, which you did.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Great. Let's do it a couple more times. Let's just start to build up.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Great. A few more. Let's talk about some body language. Let's talk about tone of your voice. Most of it's really solid. What I'm going to ask you to do is to just scan the room as you're doing it. Make sure you can see all the kids. And let's not even think about the voice or anything like that, but I'm just going to ask you to scan the room as you're doing it. Make sure you're going all the way over here from Anna all the way over here to Jade, right? So like seeing every student in that room, same exact thing.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Great, do it again, just like that.
Go.
Great, it's really solid. Let's talk now about your voice. I think your voice needs to be almost twice as loud as where it is here, right? We're just getting warmed up, and so that's fine. You want to think about being able to project your voice in a way that every student in the class hears you, and that they know, like, oh, great, it's time to do this thing. So think about the exact same thing. You're scanning from this side of the room back the other way. And make your voice twice as loud, right? Check this out. When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write your objective in your notebook. Go, right? Twice as loud, just like that. Let's try it.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Try it again.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Great. Try it. Let's even have a little fun with it. Try it even louder than that. Because I think we need to be a little louder than where you are. So I'm going to ask you to go much louder than where you are so we can come back.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to write the objective in your notebook. I forgot.
Forget silently. Yeah. Let's go.
When I say go, please take 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Let's do it again, just like that, and then we're going to come back. High five. How's it feeling?
I'm feeling much more confident.
Okay, great. I want to talk about your hands. All right, tell me what's natural for you. If that's natural, that's fine. I don't have any preference there, but I want to make sure that whatever you're doing with your hands isn't distracting for kids, which this certainly isn't. But I want to what do you usually do when you're in front of kids?
Usually I have a marker in my hand.
Okay, so you do a little talking with your hands?
I think I do talk.
Okay, yeah, I'm from Long Island. That's all we do back there. So, same thing, right? If you want to just start over, Dana, go this way and then back this way, right? Volume nice and high. And make sure you're showing kids, like, with your hand gestures, like, that you're excited about this thing, right? So, like, guys, when I say go, let's take 30 seconds to silently copy our objective in our notebook. Go. You can even go like 30, right? You can use hand signals if you want. I'm totally ambivalent there. I just want to make sure that your hands are doing something that kind of projects this message as well.
Okay. Scholars, when I say go, you will have 30 seconds to silently write today's objective in your notebook. Go.
Great. How are you feeling?
Great.
All right, great. We're just getting warmed up. Grab your chair. Let's get into this. Here you have a couple scenarios that you brought. Actually, here is
Thanks.
your notebook. And so tell me the 3 scenarios that you brought for today that you're going to need to give directions for.
When students come in, they need to place their homework on the desk.
Great.
The other one is when we line up for lunch. And the last one is the do now expectations.
Great. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Let's just start with the first one, placing the homework on the desk. I'm going to ask you to use those components that we just practiced, and let's take 30 seconds. Come up with a script for what you're going to ask kids to do. Prep the cue, drop the cue, and then time test materials and sound.
Okay.
Share it with me, and then we'll practice it.
When I say go, you will have 15 seconds at a level 0 to place your homework on your desk. Go. Does it matter the order?
Doesn't matter the order, not at all. It's whatever's comfortable.
Okay.
Great. I mean, excluding like prepping the cue and dropping the cue, right? Those should always begin and end the thing.
Okay.
Let's hear what you have, and then we'll stand up for practice.
When I say go, you will have 40 seconds to put your books away and line up for lunch at a level 0. Go.
Great. Let's just say it one more time.
When I say go, you will have 40 seconds to put your books away and line up for lunch at a level 0. Go.
Great. Let's practice it. Yeah, scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to do the do now at a level 0. Go.
Oh, that was better. Can you do it one more time?
Sure. Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to do the do now at a level 0. Go.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to do the do now at a level 0. Go.
Great. This is going to be the one that we're going to close on, because this is the one we're going to absolutely want to nail. So let's get this. Like, think about body language, think about scanning, think about the volume of your voice.
Scholars, when I say
All right, not so loud. Let's go a little bit more softly there.
Sorry. Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
Great.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
Great.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
Let's do 5 more rock solid ones.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
4 more.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
Don't lose that voice volume. You're starting to fade there. Don't go too loud. Don't lose that voice volume.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go. Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go. Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
Do 2 more, perfect like that.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go. Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
Let's do one more, perfect.
Scholars, when I say
No,
go...
no left, let's do it, it's gonna be perfect.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Scholars, when I say go, please take 2 minutes to complete the do now at a level 0. Go.
Great, how'd that feel? High five, by the way, for diving into all the steps, how'd it feel?
Exhausting.
Well, that's good, that's good. I mean, you started off really solid anyway, and you just got progressively stronger as we went on. And really, the key is to be able to just do it on the fly, because you're not going to get the script everything out. So there was definitely some improvement on that as we went through.
Okay.
How does it feel for you? I know you're exhausted, but what's on your mind?
I'm excited to see how my scholars react,
Okay.
to see it in real time.
Okay, great. Well, that brings me to my next piece. We're gonna set a goal here for you. We're gonna have a teacher goal, and we're gonna have student outcome goal as well. Teacher goal, we're gonna say, because I know you can get there, is that for 100% of major directions, they're gonna include time, task, materials, and sound, prepping a cue and dropping a cue. And in terms of my real-time feedback, when I'm in there, I'll say, Ms. Barbu, can I interject for one moment? How long do students have to do this? So I'm going to give feedback in that way. If you didn't already have so many components of this, we'd probably set it a little lower. We're going to say that it's going to be 100%. Does
Okay.
that sound good?
Yes.
Great. Now let's talk about the student goal. Right now we have approximately 66% of the kids working. I want to set our goal. How do you feel about that?
I'm a little nervous.
Yeah.
But it's a good goal.
Yeah, and that's where I'm here to support you on. So if we're at 75, we'll keep working. And when we get to 85, we're going to keep working as well. Sound
Okay.
good?
Sounds great.
Let's talk about some next steps. And I'm going to ask you to put this in your calendar, and I'll send some invites when I get back to my office as well. I'm coming in next period, which you know about. I'm going to do some real-time coaching on this stuff, and I'm going to be back again first period tomorrow to do the same thing, right? Looking for those 5 major components, giving the real-time feedback. I'll probably even share some data in real time around like, hey, we're at 85% of kids, or we're at 70% of kids, whatever it is, and then share that with you in the moment. I also want you to observe Miss Smith tomorrow during the 3rd period prep. She's a master at doing these pieces. She's expecting you, so you don't need to send her an email or anything. What I'm going to ask you to do, and make a note of this, please, I'm going to ask you to look for the clarity of her directions. And really specifically those 5 components that we talked about, because she has each of those 5 every single time.
What time was that at?
3rd period tomorrow.
Okay.
Great. Remind me your goals for this coming week.
100% of major directions have the components, which are cue, time, sound, task, material, cue.
Right, and time, sound, material, and did you say task?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yep. And then the student goal is 85% are on task within 10 seconds of the direction.
Great. Amy, thanks so much for your time. It was great. Let me know if you need anything. I'll see you next period, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, great. Awesome.